What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Bit Heroes. Alright, you guys voted and you guys wanted, apparently you wanted a friend's request, which is a bit awkward. You guys wanted Saturday, Capture Day, more than Raid 5 Heroic on Sunday. So it's going to be double Capture Day videos for a bit. We'll see how it goes. If you guys get bored of it, we can always swap back to Item Find Day on Sunday. But for now, it is Saturday. So because of the anniversary, we got doubled, so we got 60% here, and then we've got our runes on as well, of course. So let's get to it. Now we have been going for Driffen for quite a bit, so we'll switch it up, considering that we need for our good old Walcom here, wherever he is. We also need these duo robot things from Raid 4. So I thought we'll switch it up, we'll do Raid 4 for a bit. And then we've also got some energy, we could go try and get some Yetis or anything as well. The good thing about having two Capture Rate Days videos is it gives us a lot of flexibility on what we actually do. So we can do Raid 2, we can do Raid 4, we can do Yeti Dungeon, we can do Warty Dungeon, we can do, I don't know, there's a lot we can do. So it's not like doing the same thing over and over again where it could get potentially repetitive. So in that sense, it's actually pretty good. All right, let's get to it. So these are the guys we need. So if anything comes up, we're not going to spend gems, right? We're just going to spend gold because we are saving our gems to get an accessory box. So we were lucky recently getting Tobit. And I was talking to Sirenin, one of my good friends from Bit Heroes, and he's also a guildmate. And one of the first people I actually met playing the game about the legendary pet Tobit. And what I've decided, what we'd had a chat about is I used to have about 1200 or near 1300 I think power and about 800-ish speed, because the Tobit, he doesn't really heal for that much, right? It was 132 to 162. That's what he healed and shielded for, but I've equaled as best I can my power and my speed, so that this procs a little bit more often, because it procs when you get hit, obviously, so you can't control that. When you hit an enemy, and per turn. So when I hit an enemy, the faster I am, the more its chances it's going to proc. So it does heal and shield for a little bit less, but it's going to go off a little bit more often. So we're going to trial it and see how it goes. If we don't feel it's as good, then we can, go back and put this up to like 1300 and take this back down to 800. But, pretty even across the board. Even stamina, is up there. Everything's around about 1000-ish, give or take. So we're going to go with this for a bit and see. So it is 108 to 132, but that's healing and shielding. So say you get, in the middle, say like 115, then you're really looking at 230 because it's shield and heal. So, and that's when you get hit, when you hit and per turn. So there's a fair chance of it going off. It's just not the biggest chunk of healing or shielding in the world. If we went all power, then it would be a significantly better heal, but we would also attack like once in a blue moon, right? So it would go off per turn and when we get hit, but considering we're DPS, we're trying not to get hit. So, I think this is a good compromise, right? It's not that much different to what we had. We've just lost a little bit of power on the heal, but it's gonna proc a little bit more often. So, yeah. Full power builds, like, you've got to have enough stamina to survive, obviously, but full power and no speed do exist, and you see off tanks have them a lot. And it just means you hit like an absolute truck, but you only hit once in a while. So if you have a lot of empower chance and stuff like that, then it can be useful because, you hit and you get an empowered hit and you just absolutely demolish things. And then if you've got like quad strike or dual strike as well, the damage can be amazing. But we don't have that much empower chance. I think we only have 4%, but I got quite a bit of dual strike. As it is my favorite stat. So I kind of procced into that. I don't know if it's, necessarily the best. I think a power's better, but I just like dual strike. I'm not a min-maxing kind of guy in any game I play. I just do what I enjoy. I don't generally look up guides that much, or, you know, the best ways to build a character and stuff. I just go with it. And, you know, like, unless you do something drastically wrong, there's not that many games that will not let you finish a game if you don't, you know, do the optimum build. You know, like any game basically, you can just run with whatever, and you know, if you're skilled enough, you'll be able to finish it. So there are some games though where if you just like the original Fallout, if you put 0 into intelligence, you have a hard time because you can't talk to anyone, and that makes it fairly difficult. But yeah, anyway, that's getting a bit off topic. So we are here for these duo robots. So the same thing with Driffin, really. We just need one of them and one of Driffin. They're the two raid fams that we need. And then other than that, we need the other epics is I think it's just Warty, right? I think, and then we need a Velk. Let's double check that. Also, I'm coming off 2 hours sleep last night, so I'm a bit tired. So if I'm a bit like not as energetic as normal, that's why. Hopefully I'm okay. Yeah, so Warty for this, duo robots for that, and then Driffin for that, and then Velk is just Hobbit feet. So really it's 3 epics to make a Walkham. And Warty, you know, we can get him easily enough. It's just Driffin and the duo robots that are the hard ones. So raid-wise, it'll just be raid 2 and 4 for a bit. Just going to double check on Steam. I haven't got this clicked. Okay, good. I don't know why I would, but just double checking. So we don't really need anything else from here apart from the boss. Oh no, we need that, well, that G4 Gombo elusive rare fam we could use. I think that was for the other mythic that we were originally trying to make though. Or is that for Captain Wombo's? Ah, shit, I can't remember. There's too many fusions. But I remember we needing him at some point. Speak of the devil, there he is. Even if we had, even if he comes up for Persuasion, we can't use gems because we don't have enough. So, but as I mentioned, we're saving all our gems for an accessory box. And he didn't want to join us anyway, son of a bitch. So, speaking of gems, we have about 900-ish. 970, 969. So yeah, I'm going to save up to 5k, which is going to take a while, to be fair. But I've just got to be strict with myself and have the willpower to not throw gems at fams that pop up. If a legendary fam shows up, I might, depending on who it is, right? Zolovby, so the issue I'm having at the moment is, apart from stabling Walkham, which is our #1 plan, I'm doing 340 Trials Gauntlet, and I'm able to get it down about 75% of the time. And if you remember, I've mentioned before that unless you can 100% guarantee that you can clear something, don't do it because it's a waste, right? Because if you can't clear it, you're not getting the maximum out of it. So if you can't do Raid 5 Heroic 100% of the time, do Raid 5 Hard if you can do that 100% of the time, and it's much better to do. So I'm doing 340 Gauntlet Trials, whatever, about 75% of the time. So I'm not quite at 100%. And the reason for that is the tank. So I was using Meaty, who is just a giant meat shield but has no damage. And it didn't work out as well as I'd hoped. So I've gone back to Bobodom, and Bobodom's pretty good, but I don't have any of him stabled. It's just a single Bobodom, and he goes down rather quickly if he gets hit. He does have that 20% evade. So a tank, like a really strong tank familiar is what I'm missing. So that's why I was saying maybe we could think about stabling Bobodom as well, as he's quite a easy, cheap familiar to fuse. But then that would eat into our, you know, our Walkham schedule as well. Would also give us a heap more dungeons and raids and stuff to do. So even more flexibility as far as what raids and dungeons to do in each video. But I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. The other thing, like, there's a few tanks, like Zolvby, which is Zol and Bully, which is like, he's got like 1400 stamina and like 40% block chance or something, so it's like a better Oxelroth, but I don't have either Zol or Bully. So that's what I mean. If Zol came up in Raid 5 for Persuasion and I had 1600 gems, I'd be tempted, because then all we need is a Bully and we can make Zolvby. But there's a tank or two maybe from the expeditions, right, that are really good. But I didn't get their schematics because I just did the fatty expedition the entire time. I did every expedition once or twice or whatever it was, and then I just put all of my points into fatty expedition trying to get them out, which I didn't get. So in hindsight, it was a bit of a waste. But you know, you got to try for what you want. We did get the fatty scam, which is cool. Which is what we're working towards, obviously, as well, with the Yetis. But yeah, there's quite a good tank and healer schematics from the expeditions, but I didn't get them. So I don't know when Expedition's coming back. And then if it does come back, is it going to be the same expeditions? Or is it going to be like Invasion, where there's like Jelly Invasion, there's Ninja Invasion, there's Zombie Invasion? Like the Expedition, when it was here, was called something Expedition. Like it was called like Zod Expedition or something. I don't know. Can't remember what it was called. But that means that, you know, when Expedition comes back, it might be a completely different Expedition with different enemies and stuff, which would mean different schematics and all that. So I had a comment this morning, actually. I saw it when I woke up, that was saying, like, regarding my question about, you know, do you guys think we should go for Bobodom stabling? And someone mentioned that the Expedition tanks are really good, which I knew and which I just explained. And he said maybe work towards getting all of the fams you need for that, so that when you get the schematic, you could just make them straight away. Which is a really good idea in theory, but again, if the invasion comes back, if the expedition comes back and it's not the same expedition, then I've got all these fams and I spend all this time and effort and everything getting fams that I don't potentially need. I mean, eventually that expedition will come back and I can get it and I can fuse it, so it won't be a total waste. And really, any familiar you catch, common to legendary, is useful. Like, I have 20 or so, what are they? I don't know, I've got 20 or so somethings, like, just sitting there in my bag of the same fan. And I'm like, why do I need 20 of these? But you never know, an expedition might come out where you need, like, 8 of them to fuse something. And I've already got 20 sitting there, so I could, you know, potentially fuse stable nearly 3 of them. So everything you capture can potentially have a use. So I don't know. I don't know what to do, really. I am, like I said, I am clearing it 75% of the time, which is pretty good. I think if I fused and stabled like another 2 Bobodoms or something to +2, it might be enough to kind of get me over the line. And as I said, he is cheap. But yeah, it's a tough one. But if Expeditions does come back and it's a different expedition, right? So instead of the Zod one I was talking about, it's a completely new one with different familiars and different schematics and stuff, then, you know, no doubt there's going to be schematics in there that are also going to be good. So you just never know. I think for now, we'll just focus on Walkham, right? Invasion has another week left, and then after that, I'm guessing it's going to be GVG. And then, or it might be a week off and then GVG, and then after that I would think Expedition will come back. That's my guess. So yeah, if my guess is true, Expedition won't be back for another, say, 3 weeks or so, or maybe a month. So I don't know, we'll see. There might be information on it on Reddit or Wiki or whatever, but as I've mentioned multiple times now, I don't read any of that stuff. I just find out what's happening in game when I log in, or if I talk to my guildmates or something that, you know, give me a heads up that something's coming. Doing YouTube and everything else and just social life and all the rest, I just don't keep up to date with all of the updates and stuff and leaks and all that stuff. So, you know, I just find out stuff when it comes in. So yeah, if there is any news on Expeditions coming back that you guys know of, let me know. But yeah, so that's kind of a ramble, obviously, because that's what I do. But of my thoughts of tank familiars. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look into those tank fams from the expedition, see what they need to make to fuse them, and then see which of those I actually have and how easy it would be. So yeah, I don't know. I'll do some research. But Bobodom, he's pretty easy to fuse. The only problem is he needs a Yeti. He needs Yobo, right? And we'd want the Yetis for Fatty. So we'd have to get... I've got 2 Yetis. I still haven't been able to catch a third one yet. So we'd have to get our 5 for Yeti first, for Fatty first. And then once we've got Fatty, we don't need any Yetis for him again. Unless we wanted to stable him, which I'm not going to do. Because it's just way too much effort. And I don't think I have enough of that bacon stuff anyway. And then we could get Yetis for Bobodom. Because Bobodom's Yeti for Yobo, Nos Dudu, and what's the other one? I can't even think of what the other one is. We'll have a look after this. We haven't had anyone wanted to join us, considering we've got all the bonuses and stuff. Like double Saturday bonus and our 40% capture rate. And nobody's interested. Okay, let's have a look. Fusion. Bobodom. Bobodom. Where is he? Oh yeah, Ragnar. So I've already got... I fused... I had a Ragnar and a Blubber or whatever. Yeah, Blubber, I think it is. Hence Blagnar. So I fused that already. So we would need 1 Yeti and some sprockets. I have... I don't know how many sprockets I have. And then Nos Dudu and whatever common fam or rare fam. So that's easy. Just a Nos Dudu. So it's really just to fuse him +1, we just need 1 Yeti, which I have. So we could do that, and a Nos Dudu. So if I caught a Nos Dudu, we could +1 Bobodom now, pretty much. How many sprockets do I have? I know it's a lot, because I've only used it to fuse a Yobo once. And then I've never used them ever since. And I know people are looking for sprockets. There you go, I have 65. So we could make like 20 Yobos? 21. Almost 22 Yobos. Which is quite the amount of Yobos, actually. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, so if I catch a Nos Dudu, we could fuse a +1 Bobodom now. But then we'd be 1 Yeti behind Fatty. That might be worth it initially though, because then that's like another, you know, little chunk to Bobodom to help with 340. So, I don't know. None of these decisions are bad decisions. It's just it's like a tier list, right? It's like, what's the best option? Or, what's the best option, then what's the next best option, then what's the next best option. Like, fusing a Bobodom is a good idea. Not fusing him to save the Yetis to make Fatty is a good idea. Like, basically, you know, anything you fuse is going to help you in the game. So, you know, none of them are bad calls, it's just which is the better call. Okay, well, I'm getting disappointed that nobody is coming up for Persuasion. Like, you don't have to join us, but at least offer. That would be nice. I don't think I've been to Raid 4 in a while, actually. Feels like I haven't. Alright, come on. Damn it. Damn it. So, yeah, the duo robots and Griffin for Walkham. The only really hard part of him. And I've got all the energy that I use each day. I just use capture rate, my capture rate runes, and I just do the Yeti dungeon. But we're gonna need to split that up at some point to do more world boss to get more hobbit feet as well, because we need what, like a Velk, which is 10 hobbit feet, and 10 hobbit feet isn't the quickest thing to amass actually. Like that's gonna take way longer than catching, like, you know, a Yeti or something. Although I could just do like tier 4 heroic or something, and then that way I can just do it by myself, so I don't have to wait for people to join the room and everything, and just auto it and smash it out, because the hobbit feet are item find, right? And we're already full build for tier 5, so I don't, like, you know, getting tier 5 legendaries is nice to break down into more luminous stones to stockpile and everything, but I don't technically need them. So I could do Ray Orlag, you know, tier 5 or 6 or something on heroic, and get that item find boost to just get hobbit feet. Don't worry about anything else, just do it purely for hobbit feet. That might be an idea, rather than try to do like normal or hard on tier 8. Because it'll take a while to get, you know, you don't get hobbit feet very quickly doing it on normal. So I might try that actually. I might just do heroic on a much lower tier, just for the item find, because the hobbit feet, no matter what, like all egg will drop it, so it doesn't matter what tier you're in. So dropping down to a, you know, a tier much lower than you, where you can just solo it. So I might look at which tier has like some cool cosmetic, you know, helmets or weapons or something, and just do that tier, and, you know, hope for that legendary to pop up for cosmetic reasons, and then try and get some hobbit feet that way. That's probably what I'll do. And that's actually not a bad call. So if you're looking to get hobbit feet, or is it demon blood or demon juice or something, whatever it is for the netherworld guys, yeah, it's just item find. So do it on Sunday, do it on Monday. The item find days, is it not Monday? Thursday? No, not Thursday. Today, Saturday. Is that right? Yeah, you got item find today, as well as capture rate. Yeah, and then just do whatever world boss you need on a lower tier on heroic, and you'll get those drops much easier. That sounds like a good idea. That's probably common knowledge, but I've just come up with that. I've just realized that that's actually a really good idea. Okay, by the time we finish these raids, which is, this is the last one, right? Nobody has come up for Persuasion. Not one single thing. And I'm not happy with that. So we can't end the episode without someone popping up for Persuasion. So what we're going to do, once this is finished, providing no one pops up, is we'll take off the decline duplicates, and we'll go into a Yeti dungeon, and surely one of the commons or rare in there will offer themselves up for Persuasion. We don't have to catch it, but we just need that option to come up on a capture day video. Otherwise, it's not cool. I'm super surprised. Actually, 6 raids. I think it was 6, maybe 7. I know I wasn't full on raid shards, but I think we did at least 6. And not one of these sons of bitches wanted to join us. Maybe the boss. I remember this guy was such a dick when this raid first came out. Like, the duo robots would just one-shot the weakest, like the lowest HP enemy. Ally, sorry. And that boss would just hit like a truck. Oh, we got one more raid. Okay. We'll do one more raid. That must have just... Yeah, it just procced. The regen just procced. Oh. I love those crits, man. Or those, you know, quad strike procs or whatever it is that just completely decimates the whole team. Like an empowered crit quad strike. Damn, I want to see that in PvP. I want to see someone's team just get one shot. This is super disappointing. Like, come on, someone has to want to think we're cool. Nope. Maybe they know I'm really tired, right? And they're like, this guy's too tired to be friends. Bits. Man, I remember farming the crap out of them. Same with Luminous Stones, it's the same thing. And then what was the one before that? Doubloons. It's all the same, as far as they all cost the same amount of each of those materials, as far as I'm aware, or remember at least, to upgrade your gear. It was the Hyper Shards from Raid 2 that sucked. They were so rare, man. Yeah, Raid 2 sucked. That's why a lot of people just suggest to skip it, unless you need the familiars, which you kind of do, because Driffin you need for, well, either Walkham or Wembo, which are, you know, 2 healers you can get semi-early on. It's particularly Wembo you need Driffin for, but unless you need Driffin, or, you know, if you're making Raleska or whatever, just skip Raid 2, because it's a pain in the arse. And the Hyper Shards are, yeah, far too rare. Like when that was, as Raid 5 is now, like the current thing, you know, you didn't have a choice, right? So you just kept doing Raid 2 and the highest tier possible in Trials and Gauntlet and stuff. And you would eventually get the Hyper Shards you needed, but man, it was a grind. It felt like way more of a grind than what these current tiers are. He's still pretty tanky, man. Like, we got like 16k TS, and he still takes an absolute beating. Alright, so, no one came up with Persuasion. So let's go down here and turn this off, and then go into here. And someone, if no one offers themselves up in this, then the game's bugged. Right? Someone has to think we're cool. Come on, Turkey. Fellow bird friend. Nope. Penguin? Fellow bird friend? Fuck, we're running out of enemies, man. It's not gonna happen. Oh, we've completed a bounty. Good. Got some free gold. Find thing. Potion. What the shit, man? Alright, Yeti. Come on. You be the one. We need you. Oh, hooray! Fellow bird friend. Alright, we can call this... It's a fail, it's fine. At least someone. I was getting worried there. I think that's the longest I've gone with capture rate bonus and runes and everything without someone like putting themselves up for Persuasion. Okay, so we've got 2. Just shows how much easier commons and rares are to catch. And that's it. Well, we got 2 people wanting to join us, didn't join us. So that was a bit of a fail, actually. But it's fine. Can't win them all. But either way, again, sorry if I was a little bit down or whatever, but I'm super tired, but wanted to get this video out anyway. I didn't want to just skip a week. But Thursday we will continue. We just did raid 4, so we might go back to raid 2, or we might do raid 4 again, or we might do Yeti dungeon, or we might do Warty dungeon. I don't know. I'll see how I feel on the day, because we need them all, so it doesn't really matter what we do. Like I was saying, capture rate, 2 capture rate days gives us a lot of flexibility on what videos we can do, which is good, keeps it fresh. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed it. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.